Hi everyone, welcome. Come right in and let's talk. Remember a couple of videos ago, I cracked a few jokes and I said Meghan should have said that she was 10% Mozambican, 10% Nigerian, 10% Ghanaian, etc., etc. And I said I wondered which African country is next on their menu. I suggested that it might be Ghana. And guess what? On Sky News Australia, there is already speculation that their next alternative royal tour will be to Ghana. Now, I don't know whether it is yet another story which just started on social media, this time on my channel, or whether it is actually real and I'm psychic or so in Harry and Meghan's heads by now that I can read their mind across 20,000 miles. I don't know, but I actually believe that they are trying to go to Ghana, obviously trying to get an official invitation, as there is no way they would want to pay for anything out of their own pocket. But, my dears, I think Meghan is shivering in her boots and really has an urgency to get to Ghana. And why? Well, I mentioned it fleetingly in a previous video, but according to a family member of Meghan's, their African ancestry is from Ghana and has evolved from there via Jamaica and then the United States of America, where some white blood intermixed with what there already was. So what is Madam Chicken Legs going to do if or when mainstream media catches up with this family member and some old documentation which still exists? Well, she's hoping that by then she would have been to Ghana, so she can just say that she was mistaken or forgetful or mixed up Nigeria with Ghana, but always felt drawn to Ghana. Something like that. But of course, that is not the only reason. A couple of videos ago, I said that I think Harry and Meghan are on their ultimate revenge trip, trying to hit back at the royal family by conquering the Commonwealth. Well, they can try, but it is not going to happen. I have lived all my life in Africa, and I can tell you now that Harry and Meghan may think they are using Africa, but I'm telling you, my dears, Africa is using them. Neither of them have the knowledge or the natural instinct to survive or conquer Africa. One day I will elaborate more on that, but for now, let's move on. Life has not eased up since we moved, at least not in the way I hoped or expected it would. And I would say that in the last 3 months, I had even less time to spend listening to others than before. But over the last few days, I have caught up a little on Lady C and Neil Sean, and for now, I want to quickly comment on a Lady C video. The poor lady has explained the same thing over and over so many times, and quite frankly, so have I, that I feel like paying for ad space on YouTube and running an ad for a few months, really, just to save me from saying the same thing over and over again. So yes, I am right. Lady C is right. The UK High Commission is correct and the British Parliament is correct. King Charles can strip Harry of his royal titles with the stroke of a pen. A letter to inform Parliament, the House of Lords, and it is done. Notice I said inform. Inform so that records can be altered. He does not need the permission. It is a royal title gifted to Harry by a monarch and can be removed or taken back by a monarch. Yes, when Harry was born, he had the right to bear the title of prince, but he was not necessarily entitled to it. It was still offered by the monarch and accepted by his parents. As far as his ducal title is concerned, there was a motion to change the current laws, but it was rejected. So currently the king cannot remove Harry's peerage title because the current law does not make a distinction between an honorary royal peerage title and an inherited landed non-royal peerage title. And as the law currently stands, only Parliament can vote and decide to remove a peerage title. And usually it is only done because the peer has been found guilty of a criminal act. I mean, anything from fraud to murder, or then treason. The only minute difference is a courtesy one, because a royal peerage is a gift from a monarch. Parliament has an unwritten rule, which in fact works both ways, that they won't interfere with royal titles. So although the king cannot remove Harry's peerage titles without Parliament, the process still has to start with him. Remember, a monarch gifted this peerage title, and a monarch has to decide to have it removed, even if the ultimate decision lies with Parliament. And that, my dear friends, I can't remember who it was, but one of the members of Parliament was actually asked about it on television. And he actually stated in so many words that it's Parliament's belief and norm not to interfere with royal titles. Anyway, the same applies to Harry's position in the line of succession. The king cannot remove Harry from the line of succession without the say-so of his government. Being in the line of succession has nothing to do with titles, but everything with order of birth. Zara and Peter do not have titles, yet they are still in the line of succession. And so are Beatrice and Eugenie's children. Again, the only reason why Parliament would consider removing someone from the line of succession would be if they break the law, civil or criminal, or commit treason. Prince Michael of Kent was forced to give up his position in the line of succession when he married his Catholic wife. When that law was scrapped, he and his children were put back in the line of succession. So long story short, Harry can be stripped of his HRH and princely title by the monarch basically overnight. Everything else is a process and can be a long one, unless, of course, Harry gives it up willingly, basically abdicates, gives his titles back, or asks for it to be put in abeyance. Okay, I think I can't make it any clearer than that, but there is another way. Something I have heard people, historians, and experts talk about, but I have not really heard mainstream media or social media talk about it much, and that is to change the law. I know nothing is ever simple, not in reality, but for me the principle is simple. To practice as a lawyer, you need a certain degree, level of education, and a certain amount of experience. The same applies to being a doctor. Even a train or bus driver needs a certain training and qualification. So why not someone in the line of succession? In my opinion, the line of succession should only include those born in the United Kingdom, raised and educated in the United Kingdom, and residing permanently in the United Kingdom. Honestly, I mean, what is the point of a British monarchy if Joe from Joburg or Lily from Montecito can effectively become king or queen? With Archie and Lily currently in the line of succession, one can just as well include Simon Durante Day and Jason Jenkins. We have as much proof that Archie and Lily are from Harry's blood and DNA and Meghan Markle's body as we have that Simon and Jason are Charles's sons. So unless the laws are changed, so there's a little more required than just order of birth, we can just as well include everyone else. Okay, you're asking about legitimacy. For all we know, both Archie and Lily may be adopted or born from a surrogate, and thus, according to the requirements for the line of succession, illegitimate, even if legally they are legitimate. I honestly think changing the law will be the answer. I was a big advocate for removing Harry's titles, and I still am, but I think it is far more important to have him and his offspring removed from the line of succession. Being in the line of succession, they can cause far more damage than with their titles. Titles without the strings to the royal family will basically be useless to Harry and Meghan. British titles are basically a dime a dozen. There are currently 30 dukes in the United Kingdom who hold 37 dukedoms. There are 24 non-royal dukes and 6 royal dukes. There are currently 191 earls in the United Kingdom and 4 countesses in their own right. There are also 426 barons and lords of parliament, not including courtesy barons and lordships, and 9 baronesses and ladies of parliament in their own right. So you see, if Harry's royal links and titles like HRH, Prince, Councillor of State and position in the line of succession are removed, he will be nothing. Just a plain old Duke, Earl or Baron, which in his case also means nothing, as he is not landed gentry or a member of parliament in the United Kingdom. So what do you think? A change of course, perhaps a change in the law? I think that would be the easiest, most sensible and fairest option. But who am I? So what do you think? Okay, guys, that's me for today. So I'll see you in the new week. On Wednesday, we have a public holiday because of our general election. Dragonman still has a lot of work to do for the continuing exam, but the public holiday gives us the opportunity to catch up. So hopefully I shall also be able to catch up. So guys, please take good care of yourselves until we meet right back here again. Bye.